You see, this is why you do not judge an episode based on spoilers. Also, this is why, even though you can look at spoilers, depending on the degree of the spoilers, how far they go, you can't always say, okay, no, I already know what's gonna happen, or I know the vibe of the episode, because everybody and their mama and their little pet Ribrianne were going crazy after we read the spoilers for episode 116 of Dragon Ball Super, and everybody thought this was about to be the most horrendous, terrible episode, because based on the spoilers, it made it seem as though Kefla was going to throw hands with Goku and really, even give him a run for his money in Ultra Instinct. But episode 116 proved a lot of the naysayers wrong, and it kicked a lot of booty, okay? It was really top of the line, so to speak. Now, the episode for the most part covered Goku Ultra Instinct versus Kefla, and then there was a couple of other extra things going on around the episode. I gotta say that an episode like this, to be honest with you, it makes me realize one big thing, and I think it's mainly the fact that the writers of Dragon Ball Super, the people behind it, they didn't necessarily plan out thoroughly how to make more than a couple of credible threats in the Tournament of Power against foes like Goku and Vegeta that are, gods at this point. They have the power of, not necessarily rivaling, but close to people like the gods of destruction or whatever. Because Kefla, for example, right? One of the big complaints that people have about Kefla is, how is she this strong? What's going on here? Why is she so strong that Goku had to go Ultra Instinct to take her out? And I think an episode like this, again, really signifies the fact that the Tournament of Power, the way they structured it, they didn't have enough fighters so that Goku can actually have people that come up to him and fight, and they're on the same level where it doesn't feel as though wait, what's going on? Because Kefla, which is obviously originally Kale and Caulifla, they were not necessarily weak, but they definitely were way weaker than a person like Goku. He has God modes and so on and so forth, and they were just kind of on the strength of Super Saiyan 2. There's not that many fighters in the Tournament of Power that can rival somebody that is in God mode. On a one-on-one, there's pretty much next to nobody aside from Toppo, which I think Ultra Instinct Goku would dominate Toppo as well. And then there's Jiren. And then aside from that, Dispo had some speed on him, and, Dispo was okay. But aside from those three fighters from Universe 11, majority of the other fighters really didn't stand a chance against people like Goku and Vegeta again, because they're just way weaker. So I think that's why we get characters like Kefla that realistically still shouldn't be anywhere near a ballpark of a Super Saiyan Blue Goku, but kind of threw hands, which of course that mounts to sloppy writing and kind of just writing yourself into a corner. But that's why stuff like that happens. Now, Goku definitely absolutely dominated Kefla in Ultra Instinct. She really couldn't do anything. And you could see throughout the episode, towards the end, a bit of Kale's insanity. You know how when Kale loses her mind, she just starts blasting everywhere and doesn't know what the hell's going on. You could see a bit of that was leaking out of Kefla during the episode towards the end of her fight with Goku, when she just started throwing laser beams out of her stomach and going crazy trying to get Goku. I think that was a bit of Kale kind of coming out of holy shit, she's losing it. She doesn't know what she's doing. That's where I felt that was going regarding what Kefla did towards the end of the episode. But I mean, you cannot deny the level of art and animation for that fight was on a whole other level. It was just yo, you got between the blast coming and Goku doing a 360 no scope on her. I was just this is hype as hell. And again, it's because possibly I went into this episode with these expectations this is about to be a train wreck. This is about to be a catastrophe. If Kefla is actually making Goku work in Ultra Instinct, this is so bad. And what I got was a lot better than what I expected. So I think also coming in with some low expectations to episode 116, you will be thoroughly surprised and satisfied, because it was a slobber knocker, so to speak, folks. Goku versus Kefla. I'm not gonna lie. I was just I'm glad. Now again, honestly, it shouldn't have been that Goku even needed Ultra Instinct. And that's neither here nor there, I guess, because the entirety of the episode was mainly that, Goku being in that mode against Kefla. But it still kind of feels did he really need to pull out all these stops? And again, Kefla really was nothing to him once it got to that point. But still, nonetheless, I was a little bit but whatever, it was still an awesome fight. Goku was kicking major ass. All the gods were impressed at him unlocking that power once again and that potential to kind of rival the gods, and Kefla was no match. I honestly thought towards the end of the episode when she was screaming and stuff that we were going to get even a Super Saiyan 3 Kefla, which still really shouldn't be nothing against Ultra Instinct. In fact, Super Saiyan Red or Super Saiyan God, you know, the red form, shouldn't be nothing against an Ultra Instinct Goku either. So it was kind of like whatever, but yeah, Goku dominated her. A few other things that was going on in the episode. Let's talk about Vegeta, where he was kind of like being not necessarily a narrator, but kind of using what the audience is thinking to kind of bring into screen, so to speak, or into the episode of like, okay, you know, this is basically the fruits of the training that they had well back into the Resurrection F arc when they were training, trying to figure this out, which I've mentioned this like episode reviews ago, that was very good. That was something that is like, that was foreshadowing. Now granted, I don't know if they just kind of took that and decided, well, Goku's going to have a new form, let's use something that we referenced way back in the day and kind of make it seem like that was what Goku was heading towards this entire time. Could be the case, because I think at that point Goku still hadn't reached blue, and maybe a lot of people thought what Whis was talking about was the blue form, but it's, you know, well above that with Ultra Instinct. And Vegeta kind of saying that it was kind of like, yes, audience, this is the fruits of what Goku was going towards. This is what happened. So it was like, alright, Vegeta, I think you're kind of trying to connect some dots for your own sake as well, because maybe Vegeta's trying to, you know, see how he can possibly do it, or maybe he's already achieved it. I don't know. Let's leave some people in suspense for the spoilers that a lot of us do know regarding what's going to go down with the next couple episodes for Vegeta and whatnot. We didn't really get much. I'm not sure. I don't think he was eliminated yet, but Vegeta really didn't do too much other than kind of just narrating this episode, so it wasn't too much regarding Vegeta. And aside from that, once again, and I think that potentially this is another reason why they decided to pull that BS with the Potara all the way back in the Goku Black arc, because right after Kefla is destroyed, you know, the earrings destroy and she splits, which that shouldn't be the case, because for starters, way back in DBZ, you know, it was said that Potara is permanent. Then they retconned it when we got to Super during the Zamasu arc, where they said, oh no, it's actually just an hour if you're not a god. And then in this episode, once she got beaten and the earrings blew up, she pretty much separated immediately, which it should have been like, even if the earrings blew up, even if, you know, she got blasted up, she should have still been in that mode for quite some time, because she was only technically a Super Saiyan 2, so that shouldn't be enough to drain the clock, so to speak, on the Potara fusion using, you know, the earrings or whatever. So I was kind of like, whatever. I mean, again, the episode as a whole, it kicked major ass, and it exceeded everyone's expectations, because majority of people were with low expectations. We came into this like, and it just blew us away. Like, I can't stress enough the art and animation when Goku was doing the Kamehameha against Kefla and just fighting and throwing hands. It was magnificent. It was so cool to see people like Frieza's reaction to this shit. Although I do gotta say, I feel as though if you think about it really, Goku being that serious in Ultra Instinct, I guess it's a byproduct of like this really serious transformation where you kind of have to be at ease so that you can move or whatever. But Goku feels very serious for a situation that, granted, yes, in the grand scheme of things, the Tournament of Power, the universe survival stuff, it is serious, but in this fight against Kefla is like, I think he was maybe, in my opinion anyway, he came across as a little too serious, considering the fact that she really, it's not like she's evil, and it's not like she was really on the level to give him a challenge anyways. So just a little note there regarding Goku's character while in Ultra Instinct mode against, you know, Kefla. Obviously towards the end of the episode he fell out of it again, and Jiren is awoken. So you could definitely say that Jiren, he's similar to a Saiyan. He does indeed appreciate and get kind of turned on, so to speak, by strength, because it was that Ultra Instinct that got him to stop meditating in his little Jiren world and came out to see what was going on. So interesting stuff there. As a whole, honestly, excellent. I think that's the best word to use it. Excellent episode of Dragon Ball Super. The fight was awesome. Kefla didn't really, you know, stand a chance against Goku and Ultra Instinct, rightfully so. Again, probably shouldn't have stood a chance against Super Saiyan Blue Goku, but that's neither here nor there. The way the episode handled it was very nicely done. Didn't care for the further retconning of just because the earrings got destroyed toward the end of the episode, magically Kefla broke free and, you know, was separated into Caulifla and Kale, which, by the way, anyone noticed that Kefla takes all the damage, but it looked like Kale didn't have a scratch on her. What was that about? And I think that honestly throughout this fight, it really foreshadowed at some given point, Kefla or Kale and Kefla, they will achieve Super Saiyan Blue at some given point in the distant future and future arcs. Because I could totally see with the amount, whether you love them or hate them, they were very, very popular, Kale and Kefla, in the tournament. So I don't see Toei just completely disregarding them in future arcs. Even if Universe 6 isn't key players to the future arc, I could totally see them coming through and being a part, whether they go to Universe 7 just to find more training, or they get involved somehow, because I think that that was foreshadowing for them going Super Saiyan Blue, whether in the Kefla form or on their own. They have a lot of potential, and I'm glad in a way though that we're past this thing, because this was really controversial in a tournament that it's had its highs and it's had some controversial moments, but it's like it was just too much. People were just way too much raging over it. So honestly, with all that being said, I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10. Art and animation was absolutely excellent. Kefla not holding a candle to Goku. Vegeta kind of explaining a little more about Ultra Instinct kind of being foreshadowed for arcs upon arcs. A lot of cool shit there. Kind of curious what you guys thought about this episode though. How did you feel about the fight between Kefla versus Ultra Instinct Goku? Do you think that it actually superseded your expectations or exceeded your expectations? What did you think about Goku kind of just dominating her, the art and animation of the fight, and Vegeta's little explanation? Do you think that this is kind of indicating something regarding Vegeta and the Ultra Instinct transformation? And your overall thoughts of the episode. Again, blew everyone's expectations out the water. I did not expect for this episode to be this damn good, but it was. But that's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and do a little stalking on my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember, anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.